I think I have the same T-shirt, by the way. Oh, that's like the bookmarks too?
Bookmarks.
Yeah. I think I might have that one.
$7, Cole's website.
Yep.
Nice.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. John is waving, Brandon is selling, and Chris is not for a change. He's got a new t-shirt.
I wish.
Bookmarks. Love it.
$7 at Cole's, baby.
Oh yeah. I got the beige one. I think I got that one. Got to go through the giant stack, I believe. Now, is that a medium?
This is a medium.
Wow.
Because I don't know if Charles has told you lately.
Yeah.
But we only wear mediums in this family.
In Long Island. Oh, in your family. Okay.
In this family, yeah. Long Island small.
Small. Okay.
But Charles and I wear mediums only.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So.
Now, are you out running with him each morning or?
Every night I run 5-6 miles nonstop.
Down to Taco Bell?
Down to Taco Bell and back.
Right. Okay.
Drinking 16 Amstel lights.
I don't even have an Amstel light. Like, I was so late getting up here. I just grabbed my water bottle on the way up, just ripped my computer out of its socket, carried it up here.
I am drinking coffee right now.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, I was drinking coffee all day. What's going on in California, Brandon? What are you doing over there?
Working.
Why don't you tell
I
everybody?
wish I was selling toys and posting toys. Not happening right now.
Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody about Patreon?
I'm not working on Patreon, but I wish I was.
Okay.
Patreon.com/5 Idiots Talking Toys. Please join us on there and get exclusive footage, exclusive looks at collections, and other exclusives. That's 3 exclusives. You can't go wrong.
So many
exclusive.
So
no, I mean, baseline though, guys. If people are watching and they enjoy the show, I mean, that's what's going to keep this show going is supporting Patreon. Anybody who's on YouTube knows you make, I don't know, what do we make? $18 last month in
much,
10 episodes or something. So Patreon does help keep the lights on of this show. So if you like the show, please support us.
I've been making posts on Rogue 5 about Patreon, explaining what Patreon is, telling you like the steps, the tiers, what you can get. When everyone asks me about, collections, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Like, you don't have to ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
If you are part of Patreon, you will know everything that is coming up for sale. But I get the same question every single time. What's Patreon? Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've made 4 posts. Do you guys not look or read?
Nobody pays attention.
No one
Well,
cares,
listen,
right?
Before we started it, you guys said, Patreon. And, I heard somebody told me Patreon. I said, I don't know what that is. So I understand. It takes a little bit to say, what? Like, we can watch this show for free on YouTube. What's Patreon? Like, why would I go there? Well, Patreon is a way to support creators. If you like a show, if you like an artist, if you like a band or a musician, you can support them there, with a couple dollars a month, $5, and you're going to get some benefits. You're going to get episodes early that we put on YouTube. You get them a couple, a day or two early, but you're also going to get exclusive episodes, 5 Idiots After Dark, where we get a little spicy and we talk about stuff that we don't put on YouTube.
Cursing,
and you'll see all of Chris and Brandon's collections before they get posted. You'll be all ready to buy. You'll be able to ask your questions before it gets posted and be all ready to pull the trigger. So
that's why people always go like, oh, I have to pay a monthly service. And I'm like, you need to understand this show is not free. It costs us some money to do the show every week, every month. Not even talking about time that we put in, just money in general out of our pocket. This whole streaming app and then all the stuff that we need for it, it costs money.
Yeah. So, if you like the show, support us there. Go check it out. You can take a look there and see what's over there. You can also like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this, smash that subscribe button like you're a 7-year-old and follow the antics here. Now it's time for our first win of the week. explain this just 2 days ago to my son, who's familiar with our show, of course, how we dance without any music.
With no
and then
music?
John puts the music afterward, and I think he almost had a coronary. Like, I blew his mind. He had no idea how we can do that.
He had a coronation.
Yeah, he had a
Oh.
coronation, right?
Well,
They
at least
grabbed
it's
the
not-
king of the dance.
He was like, John does it afterwards? I'm like, you can't believe what John can do afterwards.
at least your son watches the show.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you don't even watch our own show.
No, I was here. And when I'm not here, I don't
Correct.
care what you guys did. I don't want to watch it. No, I've been putting it on lately. I was in a lull where I didn't put it on, and now I've been putting it on my new TV because it has YouTube in the TV, rather than the Fire Stick. So I can like hit a button on my remote, and it just goes to like 5 Idiots with a button. It's great. So I just put it on while I'm working. It's pretty.
Nice.
It's pretty fun to see on a big screen. All right, let's start with Mr. Walden. And Mr. Walden, we are going to start with a brand new 5 Idiots Talking Toys layout. That wasn't the one I thought it was. That's the one. We're going to see you in widescreen. Here we go.
There we go.
Here we are on the
wide.
widescreen. And in my pursuit
Oh, boy.
of
So-
completing the Superpowers loose line,
Mm-hmm.
I got another figure.
I can never find the Pursuit. Oh, there it is. Pursuit. Sorry, Pursuit.
Yeah. Not a sought after figure or anything like that. Just one that I needed for the old collection to put on the shelf over there.
Yeah, the shelf that we've never seen.
The old dust pile.
This is Lord Superman of Earth 50.
I don't know any of the words that you just said. I don't
Is
know
that
what
a
they
real?
mean.
Is that a real name or Lord?
Yeah.
Superman?
There was a like a series of comics called Earth 50. It was like an alternate universe. And he was Lord Superman. So I'm going to pop him out.
You ever
Lord-
notice how in these comics everything is alternate? Everything's
I know.
alternate. So many worlds,
Actually-
so many universes.
Because
It's
they
actually
had
one of the
nothing-
ones I've actually seen that one in the store.
They had nothing
Oh, yeah.
else better to do. That's why.
Yeah, they do that so they can bring back characters after they've pissed everybody off for killing them off.
Right, right.
Correct.
That Superman looks like Brandon to me. I don't know if you guys agree, but
Let's see. There's no S on his cape,
okay.
but there is an S on his chest.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
Brandon Alamo.
He's
I don't know
got
about the hair in the back,
he's
but
got gray hair.
oh,
Oh,
around
that-
the sides
nice.
Brandon's got a teenage daughter. He's got gray hair in there somewhere.
there. And red eyes,
Yeah.
red piercing eyes. But I'm
I
super
got those red
excited.
eyes too.
Yeah, he's got red eyes
Yeah.
every morning when he
Well,
wakes
yeah,
up.
that's bloodshot. That's not
Yeah.
piercing eyes. I'm excited about this new. They've just released. People have been getting Wave 9
Hot in the streets.
Superpowers figures. It's hot
So
in the
hot.
streets.
Yeah.
Wave 9.
Yeah, Wave 9, and it's got Bizarro, which is
Mhm.
pretty cool. Oh, look at the cape. The cape is nice and pull it right off.
Uh,
It's flexible.
I heard they have green manta now.
Green Manta.
Green
Right.
manta.
They've got another Superman, another Batman, of course, and then
Let
they've
it
got
go.
Bizarro, and
Let it go.
I know.
I forgot there's a I saw a Black Manta figure on a different from a different toy line.
Yeah.
I took a picture of it. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay.
Brandon,
But
let it go. Let it go, Brandon.
it's not the one that John's looking for, like for the superpowers. It's some other line,
Like the DC expanded universe or whatever.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there's Lord Superman.
mhm.
He's gonna go on the shelf.
Is his
We
name
should-
Clark Kent though, or is it a different name?
You know what? I don't
Kent Clark.
never really followed.
Parker Peter.
I never really followed much of the alternate universe comics and stuff. So I don't know. I guess
Oh.
it is Clark Kent. It's Jor-El.
Maybe that's a John
Kal-El.
Rula question. He's a comic guy.
John would know that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, pretty cool looking figure.
We should have Charles go next, where he just cries how no one gets him any free gifts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe John Rula could send him a couple of comics.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They're not
introducing
worth it
Brandon
anymore.
Alamo. It's time
Yeah.
for your win of the week.
You guys have probably already seen one of these, but I have to show it and pay my respects to the man who created it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
It's like the one that Chris showed last week or the week before. I don't remember, but
Yours is probably better a little bit.
I
though,
have
right?
one as well.
Mine's
I love
better.
it.
Yeah, mine's better.
I love it. It's gonna go on the shelf with all the other aliens.
Nice.
Really nicely done. If you haven't checked out Adam Gothard's vintage and customs, please check them out because this kind of stuff that he's creating is second to none. I cannot believe how nice this turned out, but this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is a sculpt after the Super 7 line, so it's just like the Super 7 figure, but it is a larger version. So
Can I
Very
tell you guys,
nice.
I finally put the movie on, and I waited until like I had the time to sit down. I put the movie on.
Romulus?
Romulus, yeah.
Oh.
So I put it on, right? And I got as far as when, they told her she wasn't going to have to get out of the ship and she had to get out of the ship to help them with something.
Correct.
The next thing I know, she's walking into the sunset or whatever, the version of her walking on, and the credits start rolling. I fell asleep and missed the entire movie.
oh my god.
But I mean, luckily nothing was ruined because she's the main character. It's not a surprise that she's there at the end, but I didn't see a single alien or her fighting anybody. I don't know anything that happened. So I got to watch it all over again.
The Life of Shame.
Were you watching that movie with Todd?
No, I was watching it and I was just exhausted. And the next thing I knew is I woke up, I'm like, I got to go to bed. And I'm like watching the credits roll. I'm like, I can't believe I missed the whole thing.
I've watched it
Sounds
3
familiar.
times already at home.
I know. I'm jealous because
Yeah, I put it on. I put it on in the background and watch that constantly.
Yeah. All right. So is that your win of the week or is that an appetizer?
That's my one of the week.
All right. Very good. Fair enough. All right. I will go next and I'm going to flash a quick one. I got this for my daughter. I have not given it to her yet because I wanted to show it first, but I have to give them their stuff. But I got this at ICCC. It is a print. This is a pretty large print. I don't know. This is like a 20 by 16 or something like that. So just a cool, it's done in a certain way, but it looks like, what do you call that printing style? God, I'm blanking, but it looks like, it was printed in layers, with solid colors. So it has a cool look to it. So that's it. That's my win of the week. Princess
cool
Leia
poster.
art print. And I'm going to get a frame. I really wanted to get a frame before I give it to her, and then she'll hang that in her room. So,
Does she know you have it or no?
no, I didn't show it to her yet. I gave my son the wrestling figures that I got at the show,
Yeah.
but the other tchotchkes I haven't given to them yet. My wife is still yelling at me because my suitcase is on the floor of the living room. When did we get home? 4 months ago?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My suitcase
Oh, it is?
is still by the nightstand.
Oh, I can't wait to tell my wife that. I'm not going to be the only one.
I landed at 9 or 10 o'clock that night and got home, and it was unpacked by the time I went to bed.
Well, it's a small carry-on. It's like half zipped up with, clothes I wore and half clean clothes and some
Half
posters.
tchotchkes.
I am such
tchotchkes,
I
yeah.
am such a neat freak that I would never allow that in my house.
All right. And speaking of the neat freak, show us your neat win of the week.
So in my pursuit,
I gotta find this again now.
so everyone knows, for the most part, I sold off a large portion of my Star Wars collection because I just have nowhere to display it anymore. I have no room. I have no shelf. I have nothing. Kids are running rampant in this house everywhere. So,
Right.
I want to think of a line that I want to start collecting again, and I decided to go with a certain line, and I bought my first figure. Are you ready?
Ready.
Oh, baby.
So I chose Pruneface, and it was an AFA 85.
Yeah.
Unpunched.
Trilogo.
Nice.
That's a nice looking bubble. Excuse me, blister.
So it's so logo.
So
I am going to start picking these up now that the prices have dropped a little bit, one by one.
All the Trilogos?
I'm going for all the Trilogos. I'm going for AF 80 and up, but it has to be unpunched with no price sticker.
Nice.
Did
you have many of those in the past, or was it just kind of a smattering?
Well, back in the day, I had the whole collection besides Boba Fett and I want to say and General Madine.
Didn't you have the
early time?
Didn't you have the Power of the Force Gamorrean Guard too?
Those I had, I had all that in my collection. That's what I sold when I got divorced in 2009. So I had the whole Trilogo run, but I didn't have Madine and I didn't have Boba Fett. But I had the Jawa and I had all the other hard ones to get. I had all the Power of the Force. I had the Yak Face. I had all that stuff. Oof. And then that
Yak Face is what is it, like $9,000 or something now?
I mean, I see them selling
for what, the Trilogo?
10 to 14,000.
The Power of the Force.
Oh, Power of the Force.
Yeah, they're like 10 to 14,000 depending the grade and unpunched and whatever. And then I started collecting the Trilogos again. I want to say about 5-6 years ago, and I maybe got to about 20 of them, and then I gave up. Yeah. But that was because I was already collecting so much other stuff. It was just another thing. If I can focus on just one thing, that's what I'm going to do. So,
right.
Yeah, I love the Trilogos too. I usually get my favorite characters. I don't have a prune though.
I'm going to start off the cheap ones, picking them off, nabbing them off one by one. You know, all the low hanging fruit ones, and then we'll see, and then we'll see where I end up.
Right. All right. Cool. Very nice piece. That blister is not an easy one to get as nice as that, because a lot of those Trilogos we always talk about this, were thrown in those wire bins, at KB Toys.
They're all dented. To even get like a blister or 85 ones are honestly super hard. Pruneface is not hard. Getting a Pruneface in 85, a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we are, boys. It is time for our whiff of the week.
So, we finally actually have a whiff on the show for the first time in a long time. I was forwarded an email of a guy who was trying to sell Star Wars collection and Indiana Jones collection. So, we went with the Indiana Jones first, and because that was the first batch of pictures that he had sent me. And it was a lot of graded stuff. It was the play sets, it was loose play sets, graded play sets. It was MOCs. It was graded MOCs. And then it was a loose figure. It was literally like everything. It was all put together.
He would have been every wrestler on that thing that we posted.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, he would have matched all the WWE wrestlers.
It's like not only did he collect the loose figure, but he had the loose graded. He had the MOC version. He had everything.
Yeah.
So it was like the whole Indiana Jones line, not talking about like the mailers and the baggies, but like most of the stuff. So we ended up... I'm going through all this stuff because I don't know the prices that well. Some of those I have to actually look up. So we ended up coming up with a very significant number. I told him my number, and he was like, yes, let's do it, blah, blah, blah. So I told him how I do my sales when I buy stuff. I operate like a toy store. You ship it to me. You ship it to my house. I'll look through it. And when I get it, I will pay you that day, friends and family. So you don't have to pay any taxes or whatever. But on the outside, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, which I understand, you don't know who I am. This is how I always explain it. You can run away from me and I can never find you because you're not on Facebook, you're not on YouTube. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube every single day. You can always find me. You can always see where I'm at. So I'm not running anywhere and screwing over anybody. So he didn't feel comfortable with that. I said, all right, well, I'll pay you goods and services. You're just going to have to pay tax on that. He's like, fine, no problem. So I sent him the money, goods and services. He told me he was shipping it out the next day. Fine. So I waited like 2 days and I said, hey, did you ever ship it? And he's like, yeah, I shipped it yesterday. I'm like, all right, great. I'm like, can you just send me the, tracking so I know when it's coming? And he goes, yeah, I'll give it to you later on. I go, okay. 24 hours go by, and this is through email. So I emailed him again. I said, hey, did you ever get the tracking? I said, I just want to, be prepared that I'm home on the day when it comes. And he goes, it was like 4 words, or not 4 words. It was like, sorry, sold it elsewhere. Put it in the claim and get your money back. That's
Put in a claim?
Yeah. I'm like, what? I'm like, we've been going over this for a week. 20 emails back and forth. And that's literally all you say back to me is, sorry, sold elsewhere. Put a claim in and get your money back. I'm like, okay. So now I don't say anything. That's all it goes. I put the claim in. I already disputed it. Obviously, I'm going to win because it's goods and services, and he didn't ship anything. So I'm not even worried about that. He emails me back like a day after that and goes, so do you want to start looking at the Star Wars collection? And I go, no. I'm like, he's like, really? And I go, yeah. I go, I want nothing to do with you. I'm like, don't even respond back to me. Keep your collection and go sell to someone else. So he was like, he didn't understand that I didn't want the Star Wars collection and I want nothing to do with him. And I'm like,
why would he say make a claim instead of just returning the money to you?
I have no idea.
All he has to do is push the refund button.
Of course. But now
you're save himself the fees and stuff.
Now you're making me do more work now and disputing it, and I have to wait until November 2nd now to get my money back.
That's the part that boggles my mind. Now, obviously, him selling it boggles my mind, but to say put a claim, it's like tough luck. Go take me to court is basically what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying, hey, sorry, somebody was here in person. They had a cash in their hand. I sold it. I'm going to send you a refund right now. You'd still be mad, but at least you get your money back right away.
Right away. So no, he says, put in the claim. And I'm just like, why do I have to do a claim? This is like so stupid. But I'm like, I'm so used to like stuff like this when you're buying collections. This is kind of normal. It's not normal, but like dealing with like crap is normal. So I'm just like, whatever. I automatically go on. I showed all the text messages and whatever, and it just says, you'll get your money back on November 2nd. I'm just like, whatever. I just found it crazy that this guy still thought I was going to buy a Star Wars collection.
Now, is this somebody through the hobby at all? Like who it is or no?
Never heard of his name. I don't know nothing about him. He was referred to me through a really good friend of mine who reached out to him. And
James Coleman?
He might.
No. If it was James Coleman, I would never respond to that email.
I mean, it could be a guy that's scamming, trying to scam people. So,
I mean, it could be, but like when you're willing to accept goods and services so openly, it's like, yeah sure. Like he didn't even try for friends and family. It was just weird, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that is strange.
Wasting my time for a week going through prices, just stupid.
Now, is that something you would go to, bounty hunter feedback with, or I don't know, Dianoga? I mean, is there anywhere you would go and put his name on blast a bit? Or, I mean, if he just sold it and he refunded you, I would say, no, you should, you don't really need to go to that level. But the fact that he's making you jump through hoops and have your money hanging out there for a couple of weeks is crazy. Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's even on, like I said, Facebook, because I tried checking his name up in a few groups. And
oh, okay.
Well, that's really weird.
He's not even on Facebook, so.
I mean, if it obviously you don't want to deal with him, but at most I would say, yeah, you want me to look through your Star Wars collection, ship it to me and I'll look through it. Which of course he would never do, but I wouldn't give him $1.
A colossal waste of my time again. And that's the part that you come across a lot when you're buying collections and stuff. And it's like very hard when people like, hey, can you give me a price? And they send you, 27 pictures of 27 items. Like, and they want like a help on a price evaluation. So many times people send you collections to buy, but they're not really selling it. They're kind of just using you for your number.
They want you to do all the work.
Right. Like if he didn't accept the money from you, but got your price and then went and sold it in person for, something around there, but cash in hand, that's slimy, but that's what happens a lot. The fact that he took the money from you, is.
There's been a few guys on the pages that have reached out to me, and like I got that feeling that they were just using me for a number because they were being very difficult in situations. And I just said, listen, I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm just going to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, really? And I'm like, I don't want it. I'm good.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, do you ever say to those people, hey, give me a number? And then if you feel like it's in the ballpark of what you would have offered, but you're not going to give them the number?
Every single time. And their answer always is, I don't have a number. Oh. So then that just helps, with me knowing that they're here to probably just use me for doing the work.
Yeah.
Because especially when they want like the total number and then they go, all right, well, let's back out these pieces. What would you give me on this? And then the next day it's like, well, no. Well, let's put that back in. Now let's take out this. And what would you give me on this? Now in my head, I go, all right, you're just going by these items now, section by section, one by one, and you're getting a ballpark idea of each one individually. Because I don't ever give individual prices. I only give one full price.
Right. And if you were a physical store, we've seen on TV some shows like this. People walk in. I mean, the guy's got you there in person with your physical items in person. You feel a little bit more comfortable giving some numbers because you're like, hey, here's the money. Leave the toys with me. But when you're sending the country, I mean, they're just taking up your time.
When you're just emailing me and doing stuff like that, a lot of it could just be a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about online only,
Yeah.
And having the store there where people can walk in with the stuff already, and then you can just give them our price there, take it or leave it.
And like everyone always says, cash speaks for itself. So when you're sitting there and you're going like this, like, you want the cash?
Yeah.
You want the cash? It's right here. It's right here. It when they see it, it's makes them want to sell it a little bit more.
Yeah, I picked up a few items this morning actually, and I had the cash and the monies.
The cash and the money.
I had the cash and the money there, and and it was a friend of mine that I've dealt with several times. But he's like, "Did you bring cash this time?" I was like, "Of course." He's like, "All right," and it helps with the price. And I was like, "Well, I brought cash, so let's do this." And he's like, "All right, yeah." But the same thing happened. I'm like, he's like, "Well, how much are you gonna, just give me a price?" I'm like, "No, you give me a price, And he's like, "Well, this stuff more than I do." And I was like, "I do."
Yeah.
Just don't go libel on them, okay?
No.
Yeah, Jennifer's always like, she's the best barterer. She's like, you came in here with a price in mind. I know you did. So you can tell us the price or we won't do business.
No, the store that I go to a lot, I've been there so many times that people walk in with collections and I just sit there and I listen to, it's a good learning experience seeing how some of these other people do it. And he tells them, hey, there's another toy store down the street if you want to take it down there.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's all right. I'm already here.
Because they've already been there.
Yeah, they've already been there. They've already been there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually had a guy from Australia once who was selling me a very large collection. And I gave him the overall number, and he was actually happy with the overall number. But then he started asking me for breakdowns of each and every item and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, I don't give that out. I just give you one number, and that's it. And he goes, but I want to know how much you're giving me, like, let's just say for a blue snag. And I said, it doesn't really matter what I'm giving you on the blue snag. I'm giving you the total number of 27,000 and you're happy with it. Like, what's the question? And he's like, but I want to know how much you give me. He's like, maybe you could be screwing me on this one and then giving me better on that one. And I'm like, that's not how it works. So
what's the difference? Yeah.
He's like, I have never heard of a guy ever doing that. Every time I've ever heard of anyone buying a collection, they give me a breakdown or they've given the person a breakdown of each and every item. And I'm like, I can tell you right now, I've been doing this for years, and I've never done that in my life. I give you one big round number.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk into a store, if you're at a toy show and you bring some stuff, or you walk into a store,
that's totally different.
4 or 6 items, and you're about to make a deal, and you want to know how much for the blue snag. I can understand that because you might say, hey, you know what? I'm going to hold on to this piece, but I'll sell you the other 5.
100%.
With all the sneaker videos that I watch just because I'm curious about ordering.
Yeah.
Say like, hey, you know what? Keep this pair because I'm only going to be able to give you like $80, and I'll go, oh, geez, all right, I'll keep that pair. I'll sell you these ones.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're selling, thousands of dollars worth of stuff and a big, massive collection, you can't get into all of that.
But
So
again,
like
this is overseas through email and text messaging.
Yeah,
it's a lot different when you're in person and the guy pulls out an item and says, all right, let's just pull this back and let's just see. Of course I would give you a breakdown. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's let everybody know that they can come hang out with us at rogue5toys.com. It'll bring you to our page on Facebook, and there's collectibles available for sale there on a daily basis. And also, again, if you like this show, if you want to support us, please just subscribe right here on YouTube, follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and swipe up on those apps and give us a review. That would help us out a lot. Thanks very much for watching 5 Idiots Talking Toys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Thankies.